I have to make this crash course for a specific someone since they like procrastinating so much. So I might as well just do this and get it over with. They can take care of themselves after this video, because it should have everything necessary for the final exam. I'm not sure if this is actually considered cheating, but think of it as a crash course for my own video, for my own channel. Anyway, let's start. So first we're going to start with output. If you want to show the user information, you'd have to output the information, right? So in Python, we're going to use a function called print. Print is a function that takes, as it says, values. It takes your information that you want to display, and it'll show it to the user in the terminal. So what we're going to do is to print out something. We're going to put double quotes, 2 of them. We have 2 double quotes, and then whatever we want to print, we're going to put them in between the double quotes. So if I want to print hi mom, I'm going to put hi mom here, and that's what's going to come out here. Let's run this. Hi mom. Alright. You can put anything you want in there, not only hi mom. So this is a crash course, I'm not going to go over every little thing, but hey, just put whatever you want in there and that's it. Next up is going to be asking for input. So to ask for input, we're going to use the input function. So we're going to put input, then we're going to put the prompt. So we can say enter something. So now if you were to run this program, we have the option to enter something. So you can put Kirby, and we enter something just like that. Also forgot to mention, but everything we're going to cover is over here. So what we'll call it? Enter something. That's a prompt, and then we enter whatever we want to enter here, and that returns whatever we entered. So if I were to put this in a print function, so let's put double quotes and print. If I were to run it, we enter something. We would like buy, and it would print out buy because that's what it got, the print. Anyway, what's next? Oh yeah, if you want to get only a number or a float, an integer or a float, you put the input function in an integer function. Integer, then we put the input in there. So now this one will return a number only. Right now it's not useful, but when you get to variables, that's when it's going to start shining. 1.25, alright. What else is important? Variables themselves. Alright. To create a variable, you need a name first for your variable. Then you add an assignment operator, quote unquote. So let's say here, I want a variable named Kirby. An assignment operator here. And then I put whatever data I want to give Kirby. So if I want Kirby to equal 100, Kirby right now equals 100. So if I were to go ahead and print, I could put Kirby in there instead of the double quotes, considering that Kirby's not a string. And if I were to run it, put whatever I want to put in there, I get 100. So what I'm gonna call it? What else? You could combine this with an input. So I have to take an input here. You don't need this print anymore. And here, whatever I put in this input, Kirby will get whatever I put in here. So I have to run this. Now let's put 999. Right now Kirby equals 999. It's a great way for keeping information that somebody put in, so you can use it for calculations and stuff later on. So let's say here, I want number 1 to equal this. And I want number 2 to equal this. So what I do is then, if I want to make number 3 equals number 1 times number 2. You can also do basic math over here. And if I were to print out number 3, now all I have to do is just type 5, I get 25. I can do basic calculations with this. What else? The rules about variable names. They can't start with a number, so I couldn't name this number 1 or one number. They can't have anything other than the ABCDs, 1, 2, 3s, and underscores. So I can't make a variable called hi mom and then equals whatever I want to put here. That's not gonna work. And the variable names are case sensitive, so I have to make this capital N. It would not work. So 1, 2, boom. Number 1 is not defined because that doesn't exist. They're case sensitive. All right. You could also put strings or whatever, but right now I'm using numbers because they're the easiest. Anyway, next up is list. So let's go here. We don't need this for now. because that's gonna make us waste time. List is basically variable that can hold multiple variables, I guess. Not multiple variables, but multiple information. So let's say here my list, right? And now I have, to make a list, you need to have the list name here, or the variable name technically, the assignment operator, and then 2 brackets, an opening one and closing one. The information will go in between these two, so if I want to put a number here, I'll put 12, right? To add another entry to the list, we'll put a comma, then put whatever entry you want to do. I'll put hi. To add more, we'll just keep doing comma and entering more. 95, comma, 88, comma, goodbye. We'll keep doing this for as much as we want. What's the error? I put a period here. There's not supposed to be a period. It's just supposed to be comma. Alright. So now that I have my list, let's say I want to print out specifically goodbye, right? What I do here is my list, and to pick out goodbye specifically, I'll add the opening and closing brackets here, and then I'll count what number it is. Now the important thing to note is that lists start from 0, so list starts from number 0. So I'm gonna go here, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. So goodbye is number 4. So I'd put number 4 here. So that's gonna get the 4th object in the list. So now let's try it. Print. Hi mom. Goodbye. Alright. Don't need hi mom anymore. Bye bye mom. Alright. What else? Let's see if I wrote down anything. Alright, yep. That's how you get an item from the list. Parallel lists is basically lists, the 2 lists or more that are running with each other. So for example, actually I already have an example set in my if statement. No, in my loop statement here. So here I have a list called items, and I have a list called prices. So the first item here is Snickers. And for the first item in the prices, it's 1. So basically, Snickers and 1 share the same position. So I just print items 0, the first one, and print prices 0. It prints out Snickers and 1, so they both share the same spot. Basically, a parallel list is just basically that, I guess. I don't know how to explain it better, honestly, but each item shares the same position. So, for example, I want Snickers to equal $1. I'll put it here. $1 as the first position and Snickers as the first position. Lay's barbecue chips equals $1.89. It'd go here. Second position, second position. And Nutty Buddy snack is 50 cents, so it goes here in the third position. What else? If, else, if. Alright. Let's go back here. And an if, else, if statement and else 2 is used to compare 2 numbers. So, not 2 numbers, my bad. It's just used to compare 2 things. So, if I want to ask if number 1, I already have 2 variables set up. So, number 1 and number 2. If number 1 equals number 2, comma, then we'll print out whatever you want to print. Hi. For this equals, we're using 2 equal sign. Let me open up something real quick. I'm gonna cut to it right now. Back, alright. Use a comparison of okay. Use the comparison operators for Python. Not Python, most other languages too. So here equals the operator. So whatchamacallit? The comparison, if you want to check if it's equal to something, you use the 2 equal signs. You also have not equals, which is an exclamation point plus an equal sign. Greater than, less than, greater than or equal to, less than or equal to. Python also has logical operators, just like any other programming language. You have and, or, and not. So basically, you can use multiple of these operators together. So if I want to check if number 1 equals number 2, then we'll do this. Print, they're both the same. And then let's say I want to add an else if statement. So Python uses elif. Number 1 greater than number 2. We'll print number 1 is greater than number 2. And then if we want, or else we could add an else. Print. We could print whatever. Let's say, hi mom. All right. So if number 1 is equal to number 2, we'll print they're both the same. If number 1 is greater than number 2, we'll print number 1 is greater than number 2. Else we'll just print hi mom. So if number 2 is less than number 1. Let's try running it. The first number, let's say 5. Second number 5, and we get they're both the same. Let's try running it again. Let's say 5 and 9. We get hi mom because 5 is not greater than 9. And now let's try it again, but reverse it. 9, 5. We get number 1 is greater than number 2. So that's the basics of an if statement. You don't need to, whatchamacallit. You know, screw that. Just that's the basics of it. I'm not gonna bother explaining that much because I am thirsty as hell. Oh boy. Alright. You can go and look up online for references about operators and stuff. This should be just basic enough to get you started, I guess. Or not even get you started, just... It's not meant to be an in-depth tutorial or something. Next up is for and while loops, and we have functions after that, thank God. Alright. Let's make sure I'm recording. Thank God I am. Alright. So, let's say here. Let's see. As an example, for example, let's say I want to loop through each amount in these two, right? There's 2 ways I can do this. So for x in the array, or list, my bad. For x in the list, it doesn't need to be an x, it could be item, it could be any name you want. For each item in the list, I want to print out the item. For item in items, basically points that item will equal each item in this, so I'll loop through each one. So first one it goes to Stinkers, second one it goes to Lay's barbecue chips, third one it goes to Nutty Buddy snack. So for item in items, it'll print out the item. Now try running it. We get Snickers, Lay's barbecue chips, and Nutty Buddy snack. Alright. And let's say, for example, though, we want to loop through each one here. So we want to print this with this. So we'll do, instead of a for item in items for only one list, we'll use for x in range. So basically, it will loop from x, which is going to start at 0. In the range of, let's say, 1, 2, 3. We want 3, so we'll put 3, if I remember correctly. Yeah. And now we could print out the items, and then we'll use x, because x is going to start from 0, then it goes up to 1, then 2, and then it stops at 3. So we'll print out the items, and then remember the selector, we'll put x in there instead of a hard-coded number. And we'll also print the prices, x. And now let's try running it. We get Snickers, $1. Lay's barbecue chips, $1.89. Nutty Buddy snack, 0.5. Alright. And now let's say here we want to, let's see. While, let's see here. That's basically a for range. We have for x in range, and we also have for item in items. Basically for blank in lists. Alright. Let's say here we want to give them the option of adding more items to the list. So first things first, we'll add a while function. While, let's say, response, not sure if that's how you spell it. Response, alright, good enough. Response in yes, because we have the yes array where we have our responses all set. We'll go ahead and do this. While the response is yes, we'll go ahead and ask this. But see how it's underlined red? That means it doesn't exist. So let's go ahead and create it real quick. Response equals quote. Now, if we have anything else other than something that's in here, that's not going to work. So we're going to go ahead and put something that's in there so it could be true. And let's make this upper. So then whatchamacallit, it always equals one of these if it's in the correct one. So while the response is true, so y is in the array, while it's in there, it's going to loop through this. And then let's add an input. we'll make response equals input, double quotes. Would you like to add another item? Actually, no. Would you like to loop through this again? And if it's in the array here, it'll loop through it again. So let's try running it. Let's say yes, and it keeps looping it. And let's say if I say no, it kicks me out of the program. Alright. Let's see here. Now let's say we want to add a function to add more items. So what we're going to do here is go here, add the option of item, and we'll call this one input. Enter the item's name, and let's add price equals, and we want the price to be a float because we want the decimal point. Input, enter the item's price, and then we want to add these to the items list and the prices list. So we're gonna go here and do items dot append to add, and we'll add the item that we just asked them for here. And we'll do the same thing for prices. So prices dot append, and we'll add the price that we asked for. But here we have it 3. So even if we added more, so let's say 4 and 5, that won't work, right? So instead of for x in range 3, we'll leave it as for x in range. But instead of 3, we'll use a function called len. This one returns the size of the array. So we'll put items. And now if item say has 4 or 5, it will return 4 or 5. So now let's try running the program. Let's enter an item's name. Let's say popsicle. Let's say it cost $99. And there we have it. We have popsicle and $99. So let's loop through it again. Let's say I enter Pop-Tart. And I enter it for $20. Here we have Pop-Tart and $20. But let's say we want to make this look nicer. So to do that, we'll print double quotes, and we'll put here the item's name, and then we'll put the item price. To put the item name and item price there, here, and not sure how to select like that. Yeah, okay. To replace these with the item name and item price, we'll put a formatting option, %s. And for the item price, we want it to round to the decimal of 2. So 0.50, because that's how prices normally look like. So %.2. And then we're going to put an F for float. So now we have %s for string, and %.2f for float. So we'll go here %, and we'll add the items, and then x, and we'll add the prices, and x. So now this should make it look nicer. Let's run the program again. We'll add Kirby $500. It says not enough arguments for format string. That's because we didn't surround these by parentheses. So we gotta do this. Surround them by parentheses. And I'll try running it again. Kirby and 5 as much as we can. Here we have it. We have Snickers for $1. Lay's barbecue chips for $1.89. Nutty Buddy snack for $0.50. And Kirby for $5 million? I don't know. Anyway. And we can loop through it again and add another item. But for now, let's just stop. What else? Functions. Oh boy. Now, function isn't that hard. Every single code here we've been doing, you can just insert it in a function and call the function instead. So let's go ahead and go back to, let's create a function.py file. Crash course function. Def, let's call this fun demo, and return 0, because a function doesn't necessarily have to return something, but if you're creating an empty function, you want to add something in there so it doesn't return nothing. So let's say I want this function to take a name and an age, alright? So first things first, let's ask for the name and age. Name equals input. What is your name? Question mark. And an age equals an integer, because the age is a number. What is your age? And now with this, we'll go ahead and let's see here. We want to pass it to the function demo, and let's say here we want to print out the function demo. Print fun demo, and to pass these two, the information we just got, to the function, so the function can do whatever it wants with it, we'll go ahead and create some arguments for it. So we'll put name and age. I'm not sure if they're called arguments or parameters, but So now we have a name and an age parameter inside the function demo. See how it's underlined here red? It's because we didn't give it a valid argument for a name and a valid argument for age. So we're going to take the name that we got and we'll put it in here. We'll add a comma, and now we have to supply it with the age parameter too. So we'll go here and put the age there. And now we could do whatever we want in this function with the name and the age. So let's go here and make it return a string. So we'll go here and say %s, the name. So we'll say your name is %s as a string, and your age is %d as a digit. And we'll do the percent and put the name and age here. So now if we were to run this program, my name is Kirby William, and my age is 55. And that's going to tell me your name is Kirby William, and your age is 55. It got it from the function demo that we created. You could expand on it and make age equals age times 50, for example. If you want to multiply the age by 50, you can run it again. Let's put Kirby William again and put 55 in there. So now my name is Kirby William and my age is 2,750. You basically do whatever you want to do in the function, and then you'll return it here. That should be basically it. My throat is killing me. I probably should have waited till I drank water. Anyway, that's it for now. You're probably gonna have a lot of questions about this, but this is honestly just a crash course I made for somebody. If they have questions, they mostly be contacting me about it, but they can refer back to this video if they need to. Anyway, I'm a dip. See y'all.